Thank you for joining us today for this virtual open house for our new degree in Educational Statistics and AI. It is the first and only degree of its kind at Michigan State University, and the first enrolling semester will be fall of 2026. So it's located in the Unit of Measurement and Quantitative Methods, also known as MQM, which is in the Department of Counseling, Educational Psychology, and Special Ed, known as SEPSI, which is located in the College of Education, one of 7 colleges at Michigan State University. Go Green. So now that you know where the program is housed, we just want to let you know that this program is located at the intersection of educational research, quantitative methods, and the responsible use of artificial intelligence, and it's designed for working professionals who are shaping the future of learning. A quick housekeeping note for our agenda today. We will be going through some brief introductions, a program overview. We'll talk a little bit about today's topic, which is alumni and careers, a little bit about tuition, timing, and the application process, and then some time for your questions at the end. We did receive some questions beforehand, and we will be addressing those in this presentation as well. So to begin with, my name is Portia Fisher. For those of you who are just joining or who haven't met me yet, I am the curriculum developer here in MQM for this program, and I specialize in data analytics and program evaluation. I will be teaching some of the intro courses in this degree, and I'm also the master's coordinator for this degree, and I will be advising the students who are going through the application process and through the program. So for those of you who are interested in applying, if you have any questions about the application process, I'll be the person that you will reach out to. So for this degree in particular, we like to think of it where educational research, statistics, and AI meet. So MQM focuses on rigorous statistical methods, and this is where we're going to incorporate the use of AI applications into that process, but not just whether or not AI should be used, but the question is more of whether or not it should and how should it be used. And so our mission is through the rigorous quantitative training that MQM is known for, we begin to incorporate a responsible AI practice to prepare professionals to use educational data from large-scale data sets in particular in ethical, practical, and transformative ways. By which they can turn evidence into decisions that genuinely improve learning for all students. And we like to think that that's not just our mission on paper or on this slide, but it's actually built into our philosophy of teaching. It's built into every course, the entire curriculum, and also the final capstone project. I'll talk a little bit more about our core team. So if you're not familiar with MQM, there's a link in the PowerPoint to the program page, and if you click through that, you will get to see about some of the classes that we teach, the awards that some of our faculty have won. Our program director, Dr. Ken Frank. Some of our faculty are involved in high-level research projects, some of which incorporate AI. We have one that's a textbook author, a lot of exciting things. We also have a link to a document that details all of the faculty and their bios in detail if you would like to see that as well. So going back to our PowerPoint, advisors and student support are built into this program. I am the advisor for this program. I am the advisor only for this program, so all students will be handled by me as a part of my position. And we really focus on providing our students with all of the support they need to find out if there are any courses that they can bring in with them to this coursework so that they can get credit for those, to decide what type of projects to work on, to decide if they have the skills that they need to enter this type of coursework. We give you that one-on-one support so that you never feel like you need to figure it out on your own or need to go outside of the program to find answers. That said, if you ever ask me a question that I don't have an answer for, I'm not going to make one up. I'm going to find the appropriate person to answer your question and get those to you as quickly as possible. We do have a process for graduate admissions at the university, which is led through Slate, which is our graduate admissions portal. If you click to our program page, which we'll be sending you a link to, and click on the apply page, you'll see that it will take you to this Slate portal, and you'll be able to fill out a profile there. And we have had this question, you can apply to up to 2 graduate programs at once, and you can apply if you're already enrolled in another program. Also, you will be a part of the SEPSI support network. So the College of Education, Psychology, and Special Education has a robust institutional support network for all of its students, undergrad, graduate, and doctorate. And you will be taken into that fold and that family to receive additional support and resources. So a little bit about this program. We welcome a global community of learners, so students from across Michigan, but also across the U.S. and the entire globe. It's built for working professionals, so the classes are offered in the evenings between 6 and 8:50. Whether you work in education, research, policy, analytics, or another sector, or hope to, this program is structured to fit a schedule for a working professional and not the other way around. It's fully online and flexible, so we allow you to take 1, 2, or more courses per semester. Typically, people will take 2 or 3 classes a semester, and those courses are taken in the evening. And it's also designed for the future, and you'll see as we go through this open house that there are many indicators that this program is not only relevant but absolutely necessary for the jobs that are becoming available and the jobs that will be on the market soon. Our core principles in this program are student-centered support, ethics, equity, and responsibility in using AI applications, statistical rigor, which has been built into MQM from the very beginning, and real-world relevance, which is something that you will incorporate into your assignments in each of your courses and also into your capstone so that you have an actual portfolio and artifact to take with you into the world of work. A little bit more about the program in detail is that it is a standard 10-course master's degree. Anyone with a bachelor's degree is welcome to apply. It is 10 3-credit courses. The final 3-credit course is a capstone project, which you will complete a real-world analysis and workflow for a problem of your choice. And what makes this degree unique is it combines classical educational statistics with modern AI applications and machine learning methods. So you get the best of both worlds and also the ability to discern which is more appropriate in any given case. It emphasizes the critical evaluation of AI tools and not just their use. So we'll be talking about a lot of AI tools and applications that are available. And just because you can use them doesn't mean that you should, is our philosophy. I think anyone who has worked with AI in the past couple of years has realized that it can be a helpful tool, but in certain cases, it can be actually harmful and give you incorrect information or be biased. And so we really want to be able to look at it with a critical lens and decide when it is appropriate to apply and when it isn't. It's accessible for professionals across many sectors, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And there's no GRE required. It's really designed to reduce barriers for qualified professionals who are looking to learn more in this area. Students will explore across the curriculum, not just statistical foundations and modeling in educational measurement and data analysis using large-scale data sets. For example, the M-STEP, the NAEP, the PISA, and the TIMS. We'll talk more about these educational data sets later. But they will learn about artificial intelligence and machine learning, specifically in the area of education, and how to apply it equitably in large-scale educational data with responsibility to ethical matters and to reduce bias. Who is this program intended for? Well, you don't need a computer science background. It's designed for professionals with educational expertise or interest who are ready to deepen their quantitative and AI skills. So, researchers and evaluators. Myself, I was a program evaluator in a STEM program sponsored by the federal government. And so, someone with a background in program evaluation, institutional research, applied scientists who are seeking stronger methodological foundations, but also educational professionals, policy leaders from teachers and administrators to curriculum directors, policy analysts, anyone who wants to learn from, advise, find insights, and lead with data. This is open to analysts and decision makers who are working as assessment coordinators and perhaps ready to move on from that level up to reporting deeper statistical insight and interpretation or leading that type of data analysis. Also open to data scientists who are seeking an education specialization. So they want to apply their expertise to educational systems, agencies, and learning organizations of any type. So why the MA in Educational Statistics and AI at Michigan State University? This is not simply another educational leadership degree. It's both and instead of either or. We want to teach you how to lead, but we want to give you leadership relevant skills and a rigorous foundation in data statistics and artificial intelligence. So we will be talking about the difference between educational leadership and this degree. But instead of being the person who reads the reports, we want to be the person who designs the reports, who leads the reports, who directs the reports, and who also can help to decide what should be done with the results of the reports instead of just running the reports. Why would you want to become the data and AI expert in the room? And that's exactly what this degree is going to prepare you to be. And so, in the field of education, AI is becoming increasingly more relevant and important. AI is one of the fastest areas growing in education. For example, the AI in education market is projected to grow from the single digit billions in 2025 to tens of billions by 2030, with annual growth rates of over 20%. So as you can see, that's one of the fastest growing areas in ed tech. Employers are adding AI to job descriptions at an exponentially explosive rate. Job postings that mention AI have grown more than 130% in about the last 5 years, even though total job postings are only up about 6%. So you can see that employers are deliberately adding AI into roles, and AI skills are becoming standard in education. So the share of learners who say their school or training provider offers formal AI training now has jumped from 47% to 69% in just the last year, which shows how fast AI expectations are being built into education and workforce prep. And someone needs to lead and guide those decisions and those programs. All of these links to the original sources are clickable when you receive this PowerPoint. So what makes this MA different from another similar educational leadership degree? Traditional educational leadership graduate degrees will focus on supervision, school law, finance and policy, maybe organizational culture, and general leadership prep. Whereas this master's degree focuses on data literacy, statistical thinking and analysis, machine learning foundations, learning what they are, why they're important, how to use them, when to use them, when it's not appropriate or responsible to use them, how to effectively discern between quality AI tools in education, and then how to lead, how to drive analytics-driven leadership and make those important decisions and lead perhaps an entire organization, an entire district, or something even in the nonprofit sector. Graduates will be the experts who can build, interpret, and communicate data and AI tools and not just use them. It is specifically designed for working professionals, about 2 years. you can spend 2 years taking the program part-time, or you can always take one class per semester if you prefer and take a little bit longer. But it really does have the flexibility for you to choose what works best for your schedule. Every course is online and scheduled in the evening, assuming that you work full time, so you can have a steady, manageable pace and not an all-at-once sprint. There's rolling in admission, so we accept students in the fall and the spring. We may be adding summer courses depending on whether or not there's a need for that in the future. So you will be learning about artificial intelligence, but also not just about it, but how to view it through a critical, responsible, and ethical lens. So we know that it's reshaping education and assessment, as well as research at an unprecedented pace, but technology alone is never the answer, and we realize that. So this program teaches students to ask the right questions. Is this tool appropriate? Who does it benefit, and who might it harm? And is the data that it relies on fair and representative? So we wanted to teach students technical application, critical evaluation, and also the ethics surrounding governance and privacy issues when dealing with educational data. Here's a snapshot of the curriculum. You can see here that the two courses that are offered this fall are going to have the brown font. That will be CEP 835, Introduction to AI, Data Science, and Large-Scale Educational Data. That will be taught by me on Mondays at 6 p.m. And then Dr. Kylie Gorney will be teaching Introduction to Educational Measurement on Mondays at 6 p.m. And then this spring, we have scheduled 834, which will be Statistical Inference and Education, and Ethics of AI in Education. And those will also be on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. You can see there are a variety of other courses, including Causal Inference, Multi-Level Analysis, Machine Learning Applications, Data Visualization, and Advanced Statistical Models. The culmination of the degree is an applied research project known as the capstone, in which you will apply the skills that you've learned to create your own portfolio and have a final artifact to share with your employer who might be providing tuition reimbursement, or potentially a future employer that you will be reaching out to with your new skill set. Student outcomes from this program: graduates will be able to analyze complex educational data, communicate their findings clearly, apply AI ethically and responsibly, and decide when they should not, and then also lead evidence-based decision-making to drive equity-focused, data-informed policy and practice in schools, higher education, research organizations, or even the nonprofit sector. So what will this degree give you? Well, your competitive edge upon completing this degree will be employability. Leadership skills are great, but the current job market increasingly demands professionals who can do more than lead. They need to understand, evaluate, and act on data and AI systems. And this MA positions you precisely at that intersection. So you'll be able to build and interpret and move beyond just reading summary reports. You'll be able to communicate and lead, to translate complex statistics and AI outputs into clear, actionable recommendations for administrators, school boards, and community stakeholders at every level. And you'll also be able to apply these principles responsibly. So really grounding your practice in an ethical foundation of responsible AI use, which is a differentiator that employers in districts, universities, and ed tech increasingly require. Some career pathways include a variety of sectors across K-12 systems, higher ed, ed tech, government agencies, nonprofits, research centers. I've gone on LinkedIn, and these are just a few of the sectors that are looking for people with this background, anywhere that data and learning of any type intersects. So some possible job categories include educational data scientist, research analyst, learning analytics manager, education policy analyst, AI ethics specialist, chief AI officer. And again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about one of our alums from MQM. It's Dr. Shiran Wang, and unfortunately, Shiran went to China and isn't feeling well. And so we actually have a video from her that we're going to share. But Dr. Wang graduated from MQM in the last year or two, and she's a powerful example of where this work can lead. She currently holds a dual role that bridges cutting-edge research and classroom instruction. So she's a data science in the Engaged Research and Evaluation Center. So she's leading data analysis for a Michigan State funded out of school time initiatives and large scale educational research project, as well as working to teach in this new program. She will be teaching in the spring, and that class is statistical inference and education. And it will be available on Mondays at 6 p.m. And we do have a video of her talking about her experience and what she does now. So hopefully we will open this with little delay.
Students in MQM program, they connect statistics and data science or AI tools with kinds of questions that educators and policymakers are actually asking. For example, which interventions works and for whom, and under what conditions. Students will join us to learn cutting-edge methods while working with real-world educational problems and data set. They will leave well prepared for positions such as the data scientist, data analyst, and researchers in school district, universities, government agencies, or some tech organizations.
So that's Dr. Wang, and that video is hosted on a little shout out for our Educational Statistics and AI YouTube channel. You can also find out more information on our Facebook page or our LinkedIn page, which will have lots of information about the program, how to apply, some articles that have been written about our program, as well as additional information and videos from other faculty members. So heading back to our PowerPoint, Dr. Wang took the higher education and academic route. So there are many pathways you can take with the degree for measurement and quantitative methods across many different sectors. And she took the first one, which is higher education and academic. But there are also other sectors, including K through 12 and district leadership roles and private sector and ed tech roles. And so we'll just go through those very briefly. In higher ed and academic roles, as Dr. Wang mentioned, you've got data scientists, research specialists, teaching faculty, institutional researcher, director of learning analytics. But if you go into educational administration, you could be a director of assessment and accountability, director or executive director of research, evaluation, or assessment, chief academic officer, chief learning officer, director of data or analytics or educational technology, program director for grants or innovations, anywhere where there's an intersection of data and education. And then finally, private sector, ed tech, data analytics, and also the nonprofit sector. There are so many areas that are intersections of data and education and learning that are now incorporating AI or could or want to incorporate AI with the right leadership. And that could include learning analytics specialists, AI application or product consultant or advisor, as well as data analysts or scientists. So many potential career paths. Now we're just going to digress a little bit to the student experience. What's it feel like to be a part of this program? I will admit I work completely remote. It might look like I am sitting in the middle of campus right now, but I'm actually in beautiful Rochester Hills, Michigan. I do come to campus a couple of times a month, but you get the full experience from the convenience of your computer anywhere you have an internet connection. We really work around our students' schedules so that we can make ourselves available during the day for meetings as needed. And I'm even available evenings and weekends as needed. The program is fully online, part-time friendly. You can use your own data when you're doing some of these projects and some of these classes so that you have real outputs to show your employer or potential employers, and the capstone experience will be tailored toward you and your specific needs and interests. How much is it? The graduate programs in the College of Education online have a flat rate of $933 a credit hour. Each course in this program is 3 credits. There are a variety of ways to pay, including employer assistance, part-time credit load. So if you have to pay cash out of hand, there's also a link to financial aid and scholarships on our website, and there's a link on this PowerPoint as well. We'll get to that right now. We're committing to making the degree accessible, so there are links that you can click on, which I won't do due to time, but the program tuition page, the MSU tuition calculator, and the scholarships and financial aid page are all available to you to help you decide how you can best make achieving this degree possible. How do you apply? You're going to click on the application link. All of this is available online. If you have any questions, you can let me know. GRE is optional, and just start as soon as possible, but we can always help you as needed. Your questions. Do you need a statistics background? No. The potential to understand statistical analysis is necessary, but no prior advanced statistical coursework is required. We teach you all of that. Can I work full time and still succeed? Yes, it's built for working professionals. We're assuming everyone will be working full time. You'll gain hands-on experience with tools used in the field, so people will ask what software and tools. We're using educational data sets that are available online, and all of the coding that we'll be using, just basics of Python and R, are available open source, and there are a few other proprietary programs we'll be using that will be open source and no additional cost to you. Is it a degree recognized outside of K through 12? Absolutely. Graduates from the College of Edge now work across education, ed tech, nonprofit, foundations, state and federal agencies. This skill set is valuable everywhere. We also have additional FAQs on our website. If you have any questions for me now, I want to leave just a minute in case someone does have a question. I'm going to stop sharing. Let's see. If you have a question, you can let me know in the chat. Again, my name is Portia Fisher. You can email me at Portia, Porschef. I'm going to put that in the chat. You can unmute yourself if you have a question, or you can share your question in the chat. Otherwise, I will be again sending out this recording as well as a copy of the PowerPoint slides with all of the links, which will help you get any additional information, and you will have the email address that you need. If it comes from another email, it will be CED, which is collegeofed.edstatsai@msu.edu. If you're worried about where it's coming from, if it has msu.edu at the end, it is legit. I know there are all kinds of spam and phishing scams and whatever, but if it comes from msu.edu, you know it's legit. Okay, great. Thank you. I want to be respectful of your time. If there are no further questions, I'm going to wrap it up for today. One of the courses is offered Mondays and one is offered Wednesdays. So one course is offered Mondays at 6 and the other course is offered Wednesdays at 6. So if you have any additional questions, one of them is Wednesday. Yes, I will look at that slide. I apologize. But I know for a fact one of them is Wednesday and one of them is Monday. Thanks for catching that. Yeah, so when we submitted the request for scheduling, we did do 2 separate days, and I was involved in the process, so I know who got which day. So yeah, one is Monday and one is Wednesday. I hope that clears things up. Okay, great. Thanks so much for your attendance, and I hope everyone has a great day. Again, if you have any additional questions, please let me know. Thank you.